You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid. Hey, Bron.
Hi, how are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear you?
I hear me. Yeah, I hear
Are
me.
you low? I can adjust you.
I hear me a little bit. Keep talking.
Go. Keep
testing.
going. Is that making you louder?
Yes, much better. I love hearing myself.
Oh, we know that.
Oh, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, what's going on, bud?
We haven't been in this room in a while, I feel like.
It's been
like 2 weeks.
I've been away for about a week and a half.
Yeah.
Which was great.
How was that?
Good. Went to D.C. first for a bat mitzvah. For those.
How was the hotel that I got you
I've
for
been
free?
there before.
You didn't
yeah? Get me for free.
Yeah, it did. Did it cost you any money?
No, because I paid on my credit card all those bills. I had the points.
Would you have already been paying?
But I would have used it for something else. It's
Right,
$6,500.
Oh, no, it's free.
Great hotel, the Park, a Hyatt, which is very nice in D.C. I've been before. So we had a bat mitzvah, which is, for those who don't know, all my Gentile friends. It's a coming of age, basically equivalent to yours, your religion, whatever, where a woman, when she turns 13, is like the girl is deemed a woman and a man. It's called a bar mitzvah as opposed to a bat mitzvah.
Yeah, it means mitzvah is a commandment in Hebrew. Bar mitzvah means son of the commandments. It's like welcoming you into the religion. And then bat mitzvah is daughter of the commandments.
Gotcha, right. So that was the weekend. Then Sunday we flew out to Colorado skiing for a week. We got home late last night around 10 o'clock. It was a great week, a lot of fun. And now we're back. Here. No, it's cooled down. I feel it. And then I got a shitty 2 weeks ahead of me. Very busy 2 weeks.
Why? Just busy with work?
Busy with work. Got a lot of depositions to handle. A lot of catch up. A lot of important agreements I got to get done. Just a lot of deals closed and just a lot going on. But it's all good stuff. I'll go through it.
Stop picking your nails.
It's not my nails.
Doesn't matter. Stop picking your fingers.
I got to tell you one thing. You're right, but it was so dry in Colorado. Stops bleeding. The whole week bleeding
because your cuticles get so dried out.
Right.
Even if you hit it on a little thing, it like cracks.
Correct. And it's the thumb for the iPhone. You know when you use your phone.
Yeah.
So it was always bleeding on my screen. So there's one.
Ew. Stop picking it. That's making it worse. Ew, your thumb looks fucked up.
I just gotta.
Your thumb is weird looking. What the hell? Let me see.
I cut my cuticle. I cut my nail too.
Yeah, Dad. Oh, you messed your thumb up. It looks mongoloid. Which is also funny that we use the term mongoloid as what we do, because that's just a country, Mongolia. It's like saying, "Wow, you look so French," as like retarded.
Right.
Probably shouldn't say that word this early in the episode. Right. Have to bleep that out.
Look how everything's dry. Everything's dry, man. But it's a great week. We're back. A lot of fun. And now we're here.
Back to reality.
President's weekend.
My birthday week.
Your birthday week, the 21st.
He forgot.
No, right. The 21st of what day?
Wednesday. So this comes out Monday. My birthday is 2 days after this comes out.
28 years old. Good for you, Brian. I'm proud of you. I'm happy
for living to 28.
No, I mean, I'm proud of you for what you've accomplished and achieved, who you are as a young man, and just who you are as a person at the age of 28. I think I'm very, Mom and I are proud of you, as we are with all our boys. I think, you could have your kids say, "Oh, my kid's either a loser, or he's a problem, or he's difficult." Nope, it's been a great 28 years, and I look forward to many, many.
28's a long time.
Will I have 28 more years, me?
Of course. You're 50-something. How old are you?
57, so let's say
28 more years is...
So 90, 60, 28 is 88, 87.
Yeah.
Like
you would hope to live to your mid-80s.
Pa lived to his late 70s.
Right, but you would hope... It's not unreasonable to think I want to live to 85.
No. So
to say I want to live to 105, now you're getting unreasonable.
I look forward to next 28. Hopefully I'll be alive.
That's weird to think that you were even just contemplating, will I be alive for another full of my life?
Isn't that scary?
That's bizarre. Isn't that sad? It's extremely bizarre.
You need to be always nice to me now.
I'm always nice to you.
I know. And so the shirt you're wearing, to give you an idea from a time standpoint, it's a Sturgis Harley shirt when I went out with Uncle Brant to
Not
Sturgis.
Harley, motorcycle rally.
But we went to the Harley event. It's really it's all Harley.
Yeah.
And that's from 2004. And I remember when I got that, and that's 20 years old.
This shirt is literally a full 20 years old.
It's like me saying, could I live another 20 years? 77, that's a good chance.
But that's crazy to think about for you, because I bet when you got this shirt, you don't think of it as that long ago.
No.
Right? And so to think that you might only have, that's a crazy topic.
So that's why we need to enjoy our life. And I think we are.
Oh, you definitely. As far as, so you're 57 or 56?
Yeah, 57.
As far as 57-year-olds, across the world go in terms of enjoying their life, I'd say you're in the top 0.1% of 57-year-olds who truly maximize their life enjoyment.
And physically try to take care of ourselves health-wise, not look old. So we were coming back from a plane in Colorado yesterday. We ran into a friends of ours, and their oldest kid's now 10. They're younger than us.
Clearly.
And I can't believe, because I knew before they got married. And Mom and I said, we're like their parents, what their parents must have thought of us.
Yeah.
And it went by like that.
Yeah.
A 10-year-old.
I've
blown away.
I've only just started feeling that, where I remember growing up being a kid and older people or your cousin, like your aunts and uncles or your parents' friends or whatever, they wouldn't see you for 5 years. And then they would be like,
oh my God.
Wow, you got so old. I can't believe it. And then they would say, wow, I feel so old looking at you. And you as a kid, you were like, this is annoying. Like you don't even think about it. I've started to experience that where I see kids that I think of as like a 4-year-old. And then I see them as like an adult. And I'm like, what? Like I see them as like a 15-year-old, you know? I'm like, what the fuck? How are you no, you're a 4-year-old. Why? You're not a 15-year-old. It's weird. And I'm sure it's even weirder when you like know someone as a kid and then you see them have their own kids. That's probably insane.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy when you think about it that we're having a conversation that, will I be around the next 28 years?
That's crazy.
Sad. I got to enjoy my life now, not stress.
You enjoy your life.
I always stress, though.
Yeah, but I think that's just who you are.
We were literally coming back from our trip with our group, and Mom's already booked Italy for us to go to Lake Como and the Dolomites.
I mean, that's sick, though. That's enjoying your life.
Why not?
Yeah, it's worth the stress of making the money to do that. I think it's worth it because you keep doing it.
I keep doing it.
And it really, I was just listening to a podcast on my way up here, actually, where they started to have this conversation about like how every man they know or knew that's retired, that was the decline of their life. That yes. It was Chris Williamson on Joe Rogan, and he's just like a podcaster, like philosopher type guy. And him and Joe are both saying every guy they know, they know that once they retired, it was a very steep decline to the end of their life. That's something about men.
Bored. Yeah. I'd be no purpose. No.
Well, that's what they were saying. They were like, for 50 years of a man's life, the vast majority of their life, their purpose every single day is this one thing. And then you take that away from them. You just can't do that.
It'd be nicer to work a little less.
Right.
And then less
decrease your stress.
Right. And that's where like dealing with the things that it'd be nice to work a little bit less. That's all.
And to like have the freedom to work when you want to.
That's hard.
Because right now you work because you have to, right? You don't work because you want to. If you stopped working, you wouldn't be able to afford the lifestyle that you live in general, let's say. You don't work because you're like, ooh, let's just go in for fun.
I think
you have to work.
I would have to lessen myself, but I could still retire if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Because we live a high life.
Right. But if you could get to a place where you're like, I just can do the work that I want to do, that'd be great. And not have to do all the shit.
God willing, if you came into my practice,
yeah,
then I can work a little bit less, and you could deal with.
But I don't think you would be able to successfully live 10 years and be happy and content not having a job.
What would I do all day?
Right. I love
you, Mom. Don't get me wrong, but she probably would want to kill me.
And it's not like you have all these hobbies that you love doing. Your main thing that you like doing is
working, family, and travel.
Yeah. So
I'd be bored.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, it happened with your own dad. He was sick, but also like it did happen.
Oh, he was miserable.
There were a lot of people.
Leslie's miserable.
Right. There were a lot of people that we know that the minute they retired, they went from the man that we knew to just different.
I like working. I just would like to relieve some of the stress, but I think that also comes with the fact of all the kids' colleges are done. Basically, it's different. So I think there's really no debt. So I think those things are easier. And I also don't need fucking fancy cars. Like there's things you can.
Yeah, but you like that.
I like it.
Yeah, it's crazy that you said, "Will I be around in another 28 years?" That's crazy.
How does it make you feel when I said that?
It's weird. I was actually thinking about that this morning.
It's sad, isn't it?
I was thinking about that this morning because I was thinking like,
so I'll see my grandchildren until their 20s. That's it.
Well, that's most of what it is.
Isn't that sad?
Like. I think when did your grandparents died probably between when you were 20 and 30?
No, I was in my 13s, like in my teens.
When all your grandparents died?
Yeah.
No. Oh no. Sylvia died when
because
I was around. So you're probably what, 38, 40 when she died.
Yeah.
But most of it, people lose their grandparents when they're in their 20s. Between 15 and 30, let's say.
Right, so Bubby's killing it.
Yeah.
Not literally. I mean, she's doing well.
Well, I have 2 grandmothers alive, which most of my friends have 1 grandparent alive left.
93 she is.
Yeah.
My mom's 82, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Which is still fairly young.
But I was thinking about it this morning. I don't know why I was thinking about
82 is young. 93 is old.
93 is old.
Yeah, but good for her. You were thinking about, I'm sorry.
I don't remember exactly what I was thinking about, but it was in the realm of like, I was folding my laundry and I was thinking like, wow, it's interesting that my life like is involving you and both you and mom so much, right? Like, but it's because we are a family. But then like eventually when I'm my own family, I have my own family, it will just inevitably involve you less just for whatever reason. It just can't involve you as much as it does now because it's like, I'm your son right now. You know what I mean? Like that's just all I am. But then when I'm my own father, then it just that I feel like the relationship changes. And then eventually you're like, here, let me put it a better way. The way I was thinking about it was like,
eventually when you're dead, we won't have you at all.
No, but like you are such a big part of my life. And then I was thinking, wow, when dad was probably 16, and it's probably not as close, but when you were a teenager, your dad was probably a big part of your life just because it's like, that's what your life is. You're at home.
Yeah.
But then when I think of you as your kid, I don't think of you as having that life at all. You know, to me, you're just my dad. You were never someone's son. Right. You were never involved in someone else's family, but you lived a whole other life before me.
Right.
And so to me, I've only lived that life. So to me, it's like, that is all life is. But then it was weird. I was thinking, wow, eventually I'm going to be in the other position. My child is going to be like, all I am to them is just their dad.
God. Right.
But it's like, I live this whole other life. I'm currently living it right now as I'm speaking. I'm living a whole other life that kid won't really know about or care about or even think is important because to them, that life doesn't exist. I'm just their dad. You know, like to me, I don't really know anything about when you were a teenager. I know stories, but it's like, that was your whole life. But to me, it's just a story. So it was just a weird thought.
But a couple of things.
Because it's like
that's true.
It's like you live 2 lives, like a before children and after children.
So there's a couple of things to that. Number one is a little bit different for you, which would be great for you and your children. Is
you have
this podcast, which is a huge. Imagine
that's crazy.
If I can look back at Pa or my grandpa Nathan and see this shit, be like, holy shit.
If I could look back at you and watch years of you conversing with your dad,
age, right,
and watching you go through job
stages.
Stuff and college and all, that'd be crazy.
Wouldn't it be priceless?
Oh my God,
priceless.
It'd be crazy.
So I think that's one good thing. The second other good thing that you have is that you live within a state where your parents live, so you will have somewhat of a close relationship then as opposed to, let's say, living out of state. A lot of kids live out of state. And number 3 to that is we are a very close family, so we do still like to travel together and things like that. So we will still, even though you'll have your life to live and you'll do your thing and you're raising your kids, we will still be involved as a close family because of just our relationship and dynamics.
But to my kids, it'll be like, I was thinking
they
about
only
it.
They only know you as dad, and you're their God, you're their provider, you're their protector, and they're going to go to you like you come to me.
Yeah, I was thinking about it in terms of mom because I was thinking mom's dad, I mean, he died when I was young, but to me, it's like mom was never even I'm a 28-year-old rational, logical person.
You're a man.
But when I think of...
I had you at your age.
No, you didn't.
29.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Well, but when I think about mom's childhood, I'm just like, oh, she didn't... Like, I don't even think about her having a dad. You know, she's just is my mother. It's just bizarre because now I'm experiencing this and... I don't know. It's just a weird thought.
It is weird. So, first of all, mom was pregnant at your age. Pregnant 28.
No, she had me at 30.
Did she?
Yes, because she was born in 66. I was born in 96.
Okay, right. All right, so she had you, but she was pregnant.
No, it takes 9 months. Less than 1 year.
Mom took a year and a half. Secondly, about that is I think this generation, our generation, mine and yours, going forward, will be a different
dynamic
than what my relationship with my parents and prior generations, because the relationship, the closest to communication, I think you will be as close with your spouse, your children, I'm sorry, as we are with ours, and you understand the importance of that. So I think the dynamic's going to change. Like last generation, me and my parents, that was sort of like broke the mold, and now it's changed. I think there's been a different path.
I think so. I think also with technology, like you guys had pictures and you had some video, but it's like, I have a hard time visualizing your childhood because there's only like 20 pictures that I've seen, but my childhood and my life is so digitized. Every day there are pictures. Literally every day for the last 20 years, I have pictures. So it's like the access to, like, I feel like my children will have a much easier time visualizing my childhood.
With the podcast.
Yeah. But literally I've seen 15 pictures of you as a kid. Like I've barely seen any.
I get it.
Let alone video. I've seen literally zero video from you as a kid.
I don't know if there's any video of me.
I think I've seen like video from your bar mitzvah or something once. Does that exist or did I make that up? Maybe I just saw pictures. I'm not aware of it. So right, like I don't even know what your voice sounded like when you were
Uncle
a kid.
Uncle Lloyd, my brother, I have nothing.
Do you have any video or anything of it?
No.
So it's easy to just be like, oh, that didn't exist. But imagine if we had hundreds of hours of video, then it feels real. You can picture your childhood.
You get
and
a feeling of how. I think it's cool when you go generational, like grandparent, great grandparents. Like, let's say your grandchildren who will never meet me
will have all this footage of you.
Fucking crazy.
Well, this is the first time ever that's happened. That'll have been able to happen.
And then they can hear when you played Pa's voicemail messages.
Right. It's like immortality almost.
It really is. It keeps a legacy.
It is.
It's a legacy.
And it's some digital version of you that is kind of alive. If through this podcast, we have every kind of conversation that we've ever had has been recorded. So it's like, what is a person if not like being able to know what their thoughts are on something? I think it's
great. I think it's fucking great. It is priceless.
It's bizarre. That's totally that. We're the first generation to be able to do that in history.
Isn't it priceless? How cool would it be that if you can do this with your children? Like I back out and,
Well, that's 20 years. That's more than 20 years from now.
Think we'll keep it going?
No.
Why?
25 more years of this?
Why not?
2 times a week?
Wow.
That's a huge commitment.
Why not?
My kids are just going to be born. You know what? I don't want my kids in the spotlight. I don't want my children to grow up with their faces all on the internet.
We're really such a...
No, I truly don't want that.
Why, I hate such a spotlight?
No, but I don't like when parents...
I'm talking when we're not selling.
No, I know.
We're not selling your children off to be child actors.
But I don't like when parents even like are posting their kids on a weekly basis. I don't think that's good because it's like the kid.
Not even safe.
Now the kid is growing up and they already have a full online presence. That's not up to them. I just feel like that things are going to get messed up with that in the future.
Wow. So to backtrack.
You're going to die eventually.
No, pretty sad to think that. Will I be next 28 years? Wow.
But 28, though, to be fair, is
quick.
Oh, I was going to say that's my entire life.
As
from
you get
the
older,
day I was born to now.
As you get older, it goes by so
I'm sure.
fucking fast.
But think about how many things have happened since the day I was born to now.
No, I look back.
If you doubled that,
it feels like 10 years.
That's crazy.
And it's going quicker. We're already in March.
Yeah.
It's flying.
Right, it is.
No, it's fucking flying.
It's crazy that it's even 2024.
It's 2025.
Dad, 2019 was 5 years ago.
Okay.
Half a decade. 2019 feels like it was 6 months ago.
1999 when the fucking planes were going to fall out with the millennium.
Y2K.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I remember that was crazy. Mom had a Y2K party.
That's hilarious.
Party. But my point is,
I remember you had balloons blown up in the pool. I don't know how the fuck I remember that.
Lake Serena Drive. 9572 Lake Serena Drive.
I was 4 years old then.
Love that property. Should have kept it to sell for $1 million and I paid $175.
That's crazy.
30 years ago, almost 30 years ago.
That's crazy. And people are spending $1 million for that. See, how is that going to keep? Like, there's no way that... I don't know.
Mom's checking the Amazon package.
There's no way that can survive, too. But that's a whole other topic. What were you just saying about time? Oh, that 2019, to me, truly feels a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it feels about 5-6 years.
Oh, it does feel like that to you? 2019 feels like 5 years ago,
2019, I mean 1999.
Oh, no, yeah, but 2019 feels like a year ago. 2019 was 5 years ago. Wow. half a decade.
It goes too fast.
If that was that quick, half a decade, what's the next half a decade? That's going to be like this.
See my point?
Yeah, that's scary.
I gotta enjoy
but then again,
myself more.
2019 to now, so many things in my life have changed. My life is completely different.
Because the 5-6 years at your stage of your life
there's a lot of change.
Are very
exponentially different,
impactful.
Right.
Where 50 to 55, not a big deal.
True. You're
65 to 75 is probably huge. 55 to 65,
but there's probably not that much day-to-day change because
age. I'm talking about and breakdown of the body, what you want to do.
But at my age, every year it's like there's new milestones, there's new things happening, there's new achievements.
Between 8, 17, and 21.
Oh yeah, it's insane. And then 21 to 25 to now, it's like I am a different person.
We have a lot.
But then I think that'll.
You have a lot of good things.
I think that'll calm down more.
No,
I've heard most people that are a little older than me say that like when 32, 33 is where you start to like really settle into who you are. Because I feel like I am who I am now. But I also felt that way at 23, and I am a different person than I was at 23.
I don't think you're a different person.
I am.
I don't think so. I think
my priorities, stages. The way I think about things, what I want, what I don't want.
Doesn't that mean you're? I don't think. I just think that you have.
But your priorities and stuff at 57 are the same at 50. They were the same at 45. Like your goals, your aspirations, your priorities, what you want out of life, all that stuff is the same within the last probably 20 years for you. It's probably just starting to change now.
But you're maturing in different. It's different stages of life, like high school, college.
Right, but those are all within a couple of years. Your stages of life are now on like 20-year basis.
I think but so let's assume you get married, you have kids, and those next 15 to 20 years,
a grind probably.
Yeah, all about the kids, expensive, because. It's not even 15 years because if you have kids 3 years apart and you probably want 3 kids.
It's probably 30 years, 25 years total.
It's between 20 to 25 years total.
Because let's say it's 20 years per kid.
Right.
And then you're staggering them 6 years. So that's about 26 to 28 years of just grind.
It's not a grind because I think listen, there are stresses. It's enjoyable. It's fun. You come home and you're a little kid and you are their God and you can't wait to get home and then they want you to shower them. You're hanging out watching TV. It is nothing. You get the enjoyment out of watching your kids and seeing them when they're little and they literally worship the ground you walk on. And there's honestly,
I didn't do that.
It's nothing better in the world. I will tell you, economically, it's stressful. It is. It falls a lot of pressure on the man. But you get through it like everybody else.
Everyone gets through it.
Everyone gets through it.
Yeah,
it's fun.
This episode is brought to you by Manscaped, hooking me up. I Manscaped. Do you see how clean I am?
Look at me.
Yeah.
Cleaned up.
It's nice.
I was in Colorado.
What have you been using? You use the trimmer one? The handyman?
The razor and the nose and ear thing.
Yeah. But like, how do you get so close with the what? The electric one?
I do the electric and then I take the other one and just clean it up.
Yeah. I trim with the beard hedger.
It's a nice trim. I noticed you did it. Did you just get a haircut too?
Yeah, I did get a haircut.
Yeah, it's a nice trim. Clean.
And then when I get a haircut, I
noticed that.
Trim my beard with the beard hedger, which that thing literally it looks like barbershop quality. Like the trimmer itself is like metal and it has so many different options of size. It's better than what they're using in the barbershop to trim my hair. And the one I'm using for my beard, it's great.
Yeah, I don't have that because I don't have a beard.
Yeah, right. That one's like for facial hair.
Right.
And you can use it for body hair. And then I use my Lawnmower 5.0 on my body and everywhere on my body. Yep. And that one's the best. And then the ear and nose hair one is low-key the most important. Because that's what makes or breaks.
No, that's whether you're gross or not.
A quality guy.
Or you're like gross or not. It's like
not gross, but...
Okay, it's, how you look at someone's shoes, if they're all crinkly and curled up, that means they don't maintain their shoes and put shoe trees in there and keep them clean. It says a lot about a person.
Yeah, it's a small thing that says a lot.
Hair out of your ears, your back of your neck, above the t-shirt line.
Sometimes mine gets above the t-shirt line.
No, I think it's gross.
Yeah. And so Manscaped can solve all those problems.
No, it does solve it.
Yeah.
You just got to fucking buy it.
And you can buy it at manscaped.com. If you go there, you can check out all the stuff. They have something for everyone. And then they also have all these great products that I use too. The ball deodorant, the regular deodorant, the shampoo, conditioner. So if you go to manscaped.com, enter the code DaddyIssues20 at checkout, and you'll get 20% off your entire order and free shipping. Their prices are already very well priced for the quality of the items that you're getting. And then as a listener of the show, you get rewarded by an extra 20% off.
It's truly a must. It's the equivalent of having a necessity of a toothbrush, and deodorant. You have to have it.
Yeah.
It's inexcusable. You can go to Walgreens, CVS, and buy the shit stuff. Whatever I'm telling right now, this stuff is the best. It lasts. It's waterproof. It's got travel bags. The battery lasts a long time. You can take it in the shower. It's got a light on it. It's so well made that when we had the prior version, like coming out a new version, like there's no way it could be better, and it was better.
And now I go back to my old one. I'm like, oh, I can't use this because the new one is that much better. So go get your new version at manscaped.com. Once again, use the code DaddyIssues20 at checkout, and you'll get 20% off your entire order and free shipping.
I'm excited. Listen, I was telling Mom, which I think I said this to you before. It's very exciting for Mom and I because when we were in the trenches the last, let's say, 30 years. No, but meaning...
That's a long time to be in the trenches.
I don't mean trenches.
That's longer than my life.
I don't mean trenches in a negative, meaning when, for example... At you being 28, and you might not be the right person to ask because you're much more mature in that regard than a lot of other 28-year-olds. Do you really, you're in it, you're experiencing, you're doing what you got to do, but you're not, you might not be like taking a step back to appreciate it.
It's hard to.
That's my point. It's very hard to.
I find myself coming out of it and being like, oh, whoa, I gotta
very hard
think of, whoa, where at, like, this is crazy that I've experienced what I have and I've done what I've done.
So now in the issue
but is it hard to at your age too?
No, I'm gonna tell you this. What I'm getting at. Where I find it really cool, I don't use the word beautiful, but very special and meaningful, is that we now could watch our kids, like we get a different level of enjoyment out of you, and even out of Chippy. That's why maybe being grandparent is so much cooler. That I feel like we're 20 feet above you.
Interesting.
And looking down, and we can get enjoyment watching you and experiencing.
So you're experiencing life again, but removed where you can appreciate it from a different way.
I'm watching you guys. We get enjoyment out watching you with each of your chapters. So instead of us being in it.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never thought about parenthood that way.
So we really can watch this. So when we talk about like trips and going on trips, even though we might be in it doing these things, it's almost like there's a part of me that's like floating above, watching. Like Mom and I would sit there at nighttime and talk about like how cool things are with it. Like looking, you guys like
just move that up more towards.
Is it better there?
Yeah.
But that's right in my face.
But you were talking.
Okay,
back. Go on.
So it's sort of we get a different level of enjoyment by watching you guys on your journeys. Like I'm excited for each one of you three kids. I like watching your journeys, your chapters, where I was only able to live it in the chapter at the moment.
Right.
And not have, now I get to say, look at you guys, like, look at you with you. So when you talk about your lost stuff, I'm listening to you as an older person getting enjoyment of like, look at him talking about the lost stuff, law school. Where when I was in it before, I was just doing fucking in the trenches doing it. And or raising kids. Like I'll get to watch you raise your kids and I'll get enjoyment out of it saying, look, like it's so nice and enjoyable to watch. Or like Burke going skiing this weekend with his friends. I get a different level of it when I was like, oh, I remember being his age and skiing. It was very different. He doesn't get it.
No.
He's having time. He's like partying, having fun skiing.
And you can conceptualize the idea of that, but I guess you can't really feel it until you experience it.
So like I want to go skiing with my boys that it'll bring enjoyment. Like when I was skiing with my dad, I was just skiing with my dad. Now I can look at it so differently.
Yeah.
Say, I remember doing my dad and I'm doing my boys. And it's a whole different level. So I think that we can almost feel like we're, even though we're not, slowing down time a little bit as a parent to watch you on your journey. When I mean you and your brothers on your journey, and Mom and I could talk about it in a very different way before we used to be in it, and then we just we were exhausted or whatever.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It definitely makes sense. It's interesting.
And I feel that. I really feel that.
So you know that the movie, it's like a Bloom family favorite, About Time. You know that movie, the time travel movie?
Well, she's so cute anyway.
So the movie...
What's her name? Adams?
Rachel McAdams.
Yeah.
The message of the movie is that, because the movie is about a guy who can time travel, and he can only go back in time. And so he keeps like, whatever, the whole movie happens. He goes through life. He has these children and a wife, and he finally finds...
I'm going to watch it again in the movie theater.
You should watch it.
I'm going to watch it again.
And it's really, a lot of people think it's a romance movie, but it's actually a father-son movie. I view it as a father-son movie.
100%.
But anyways, the message of the movie, the crux of it is he goes back and his father has died.
It's
not
about
really
time,
spoiler
right?
that much, but the crux of it is he goes back to a time where his dad is alive, so he can talk with his dad now.
Oh, that's gonna make me so
and
sad.
he's like, Dad, I can't. I'm not happy. I can't figure it out. Whatever. I'm not satisfied. I'm in the weeds. Like he has 3 young kids. He's like, I don't know what the point of this all is.
Welcome to life.
And so his dad says, it took us a long time. His dad had a time travel thing too. And he was like, it took us a long time in this family to figure out how to go through life, but we figured out the best way to do it. And he basically says, you live the day as if you're just a normal person, as if you don't have time travel, right? Like just live the day, go through everything. And then so it shows him doing this. And it's like, he's running late he's a lawyer. And so he's running late for court. And so he's like running through this courthouse and he's stressed. And then he's on the subway and the guy next to him has his AirPods in and they're playing music too loud. And so he's like, oh my God, the music, right? So just little annoyances.
Called life.
He goes to get a coffee and the cashier just is like, he's in a rush. So he doesn't even engage with the cashier. Just like, great, thanks. And he leaves. Yep. So then that says you live your whole day that way and then go to sleep and then relive the day again. Because now that you've gone through it, you can appreciate what it is that you're living. And then so he does the exact same thing the next day and then he's running through the courthouse late, but then he stops and takes a second and he looks around and he's like, wow,
beautiful
I'm
building.
in a beautiful courthouse and I'm getting to go to trial.
Right.
Then he's on the subway and he starts listening to the guy's music next to him and he starts like appreciating the music. Then he's at the coffee shop and he engages with the person behind. He says, hey, how are you? Smiles at her. Yep. And he says, that's how you can enjoy life.
Appreciate it.
But it is, he acknowledged, he's like, it is hard the first time you're going through that. So I guess it's the same kind of thing. Like went through all these things and you're just going through them. So you're not appreciating them. But now that you can kind of do them again, but through your own children, you can have a newfound appreciation for the little things that are meaningful and what it's all about.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I got teary-eyed and choked up a little bit because I really value it. I think Mom and I really value it, and we're very lucky to have such nice kids, and we're looking forward to, as long as we all remain healthy, knock on wood, poo-poo. It's awesome. It's a great thing, and you're a little more nostalgic than a lot of people your age, so you could appreciate it to some degree, but it's an awesome thing seeing your kids grow their life and each chapter, and it's exciting. Like, I'm excited for even Mom and I, like, you know, the past 2-3 years, you've seen the dynamics of us traveling different chapter, different avenue, different path. I think it's like all exciting stuff.
You guys have definitely like tried to enjoy
embrace it.
your life as much as possible in the last
and we
years.
get to see you a couple of days a week, and then the other part we're happy to be, we enjoy it. I think it's good stuff. And
yeah, it seems like the lifestyle that you've created for yourself in the last couple of years post COVID,
it's a good gig,
has been probably the best in a while.
I think the most fun.
Like. Yeah,
I think the most fun. We had fun when Mom and I were dating and engaged and early married before the kids came. It was a lot of fun too. But even when we were saying, like, I don't know, we had a good time with you. We always travel with you kids. You guys every year traveled. Or we took little kids traveling everywhere. I don't know how we did it financially. Don't even ask me. My mom and I told. So we were.
You just make it do, I guess.
I don't know, but we were. So we were in Bachelor Gulch in Colorado skiing, and I'm like, man, things are so fucking expensive. Like, and we see these young couples with these babies, and the nannies are like, how do they fucking do it? Like, and Mom's like, well, we did. I'm like, how the fuck did I do it? Seriously, I have no fucking idea how we did.
Do you think it was less expensive though, or is just it relative that, like, is it the same?
I don't know.
Relatively?
I don't know the answer, but I know.
I also think there's more money around now. Don't you think that?
Everyone has so much money.
I think there's more money going around now than there was in the 90s.
So we,
which I don't know how that is.
I don't know how either, but everyone has all this money. So remember, we're thinking about, like, so Chippy, we're going to send Chippy to the better camp. So I told Santusha, we'll pay for the thing. And I'm like, and Mom's like, think of that. We had 3 kids in private school. Then they had camp. Then they had Hebrew school. Then you guys had braces. Then we still traveled. And we're like, how did we do it? I'm not joking. I'm looking at, like, how the fuck did we do it?
I mean, I guess you just did it. You probably didn't have as much savings as you do now.
No, that's
right.
what
So you just spent all your money on that. That's what it was.
Try to prove it, but I don't know.
Or a majority. Like, you're spending way less money on incidentals now than you were 15 years ago. Definitely.
Yes, no quit. The 3 private schools and 3 camps.
Yeah, and just like even like having to buy all our clothes, all our food. Like that's a lot of money that's just going out. Where now you can put that in the bank or you can spend it on what you want to spend it on.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
Do you think you're making the same amount of money and you're just more of it's going to you now? Or you're making more and more of it's going towards you?
I'm making more too. I'm making more.
So that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's I don't know, it's crazy. But it's all good stuff.
Yeah, life's crazy.
Life is great. It is, isn't it great?
Yeah.
Don't you feel very blessed? And you look at people's hard lives, you like.
Well, that's yeah.
You like, I don't know, like it's.
But it is hard. I feel like I'm very appreciative, and I'm easily able to appreciate and look at what I have and appreciate the situation I'm in. Where like it's just I do that often, but it still is hard to do. When you're in just the day to day, it's hard to take a step back and be like, oh wow. Like in that podcast I was listening to that where they were talking about old men retiring, they were also saying that an interesting thing, which I've done, everyone does this, is like when you ascribe happiness to goals, you're like, if I get that, I'll be.
Of course, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I know, and that's just what we do, right? You're like, oh, if I can get that done, I'll be happy. If I can get that job, but then when you're on the other side of it, now you have another one. You're never.
Well, it's called chasing your tail, right?
But you're always.
You ever hear "Don't let the tail wag the dog"?
Don't let the tail wag the dog.
Correct.
No, I've never. Okay. I can guess what that means, but
that's what it is. It's constantly controlling. You don't want that shit to control your life.
But then why, if you're like, if I only get A, if I can get to A, I'll be happy. That's the life I want. And then you get to A, and now you're on the other side of A, and you're looking towards B. Why do we? It's so illogical to be like, now if I can only get B, I'll be happy. Because you said to yourself, if I can get A, I'll be happy. And now you're at A. You're at A plus.
I'll tell you the reason why.
But now B's on the horizon, and it's so irrational to be like, if only I can get B, I'll be happy. I think that's just human nature.
Yes, but there is a component to that. There's a couple things. There's a human nature, and there's also a nurture component. Because if you for example, you can live. There's definitely personalities, how you're born, and also where you live in the environment. So I think that as a man, and I'm going to make this sex, but as a man, you need to feel like if you could provide and protect, let's say provide for your family. If you can't, you tend to feel like a loser or a failure, right? Because that's just, we all.
I think it's societal and innate.
Right, innate too, right? Where you want to provide, you want to give the best life for your family and your children and so forth. So what happens is we reach certain goals and we sort of grow into them. For example,
you get used to it.
Remember, so you're just like, oh, I don't need a house that big, and like, oh, I need more space.
Right.
But if I can just, if I spend $2,000 on a place a month, but then like, all right, and then you'd be like, oh, it's not big enough or whatever. So,
but is that problematic, or is that
it's
just
not problematic?
Is it good because it helps you keep going?
Well, there is a motivational component, which a little bit of stress helps to motivate you and to want things and desire for more because it pushes you. But where it becomes an issue is if for example, when I buy those expensive cars, it doesn't define me. I like cars. I work hard. I can afford it. It becomes like a little trophy and I can do it. If I had to get rid of the car, it wouldn't depress me. It wouldn't make me feel upset. It wouldn't make me feel like a loser. It doesn't bother me. Some people, they have a hard time letting go with these physical things because they define who they are and they feel less than or are not as worthy if they don't have it. So it all depends on the person. You can also grow up in an environment, let's say like Boca or Beverly Hills or whatever, these affluent areas. And there's a lot of people there's a lot of have-nots that play the part.
And that probably skews your whole
It does. So
ABC.
Therefore you feel like, oh my God, if I don't have this, I'm not as worthy. I'm not as equal. Why can't I be like so-and-so? So that's where the nurture component comes in as opposed to nature. I think what happens is as you're younger, it's a great thing to motivate you, to push you to want more, as long as you live within your means and you're not in debt, as long as you don't extend yourself, and as long as it doesn't define who you are. There are people that we know that always want more, can never achieve it, and they're never happy. There are people we know that have everything that are never happy.
Yeah.
So you have to balance it within yourself and realize that the most important thing is your spouse and your children and the people around you. And that's a sense of security. That's where the quality comes from. To me, it's more about quality than quantity. However, it doesn't mean that, again, it depends on each person, but the way we grew up and the way I think we raised you guys, it's not, if it's a choice of you buying a Bentley for your kids not to go to private school.
Well, that's selfish.
Well, no, everybody does it differently.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, one doesn't make one right or wrong, but for us, the way we grew up, I think you drive the fucking Honda and put your kids through private school. You know what I'm trying to say? So, but some people would say, I want both, and they go in debt over it.
Yeah.
So you have to balance. The good thing that you have is that you were brought up a certain way that we always live well within our means. And two, you can always come to mom and I to ask our opinion and advice on what you want.
But I think it is important. Like, you're like, if only I can get to A, I'll be happy. And then you get to A, and then you're not like, now all I need is to get to B. I think the key is once you get to A, now you're like, okay, I'm here. I appreciate this, that I did this. Now let's go to the next one. If
not so easy,
if
though.
You never look back and be like, wow, look how far behind A is. I can't believe I've made it to A.5 to get to B.
Well,
that's when I think you're good.
I went through that, and not in a positive way. I went through it somewhat of a negative way. I'll tell you the reason why, or what happened. So it was an important thing for me, and I'm not trying to flex, guys. That's what it was an important thing to me because I like cars, and I don't know if it was me to like.
You also grew up with your dad, like buying these cars too.
Right, my dad was a car guy. So I don't know if it was for me or me to shove it in my parents' face. My parents were like, I don't think, they weren't supportive when I went out on my own.
It could be for both too.
It could be both, right? So I think, like, I wanted my first Bentley before I turned 40, and I got it at like 38. So I got it, okay, and it was great. And I was still didn't feel as fulfilled. I felt fulfilled by my family, but I didn't feel fulfilled as much about, like, all these things. Like, okay, you buy these watches, you buy these cars, whatever, and I wanted more.
So you were like, in your mind, you're like, I need to get this Bentley. That's the goal. That's where I know I've achieved it. And then you got there and you're like
right. So now I want more. Like, it didn't mean
right. That's what I'm. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm saying I went through it.
That's
so
exactly what I'm talking about.
Right. So I living proof went through it. So and then I'm like hiking Kilimanjaro. I'm hiking Machu Picchu, trying to like find myself. This is what happens. You try to find. No, but it's not.
No, I know.
Listen, I don't drink or do drugs. Some people drink and do drugs, and they get their buzz or their high. Like,
that's not finding yourself. That's masking yourself too.
Right,
that's retreating.
Right. So, but it could be sometimes as we get older, or our kids are growing up, or that's why, like, a lot of women that, like, when their kids get grown, that raise their kids, and if they don't feel fulfilled after the kids are grown because they don't have any work or purpose. So sort of like a man. So I was going through the same thing, but you can understand what a woman might go through, or a man that, like we said, retire, circle back to the beginning, not having purpose. So, you're working hard, you're doing these things, you're always doing for your family, raising them, you're working on dealing with stresses, you buy these things, and you realize that these tangible items don't really fulfill you the way you think they're going to fulfill you. So I remember talking to a buddy of mine who's about 10 years old. He's a successful lawyer, and I think we talked about this on the podcast, about this book called Playing Life Second Half. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah, the ladder analogy.
It's the best thing. And it's a small book written by a male therapist, and it's all little excerpts of successful male people. And it says the one line, which is so true, and it was a sort of a trigger point or a turning point. It says, you climb in the ladder of success only to realize when you get to the top is leaning against wrong building. And I think...
But is that also not the point of life? Like, are you ever on the right ladder, climbing the exact right ladder, and you make it to the top? I don't think you ever do.
What it means, I think it's a metaphor. What it means is saying that you need to, the way I took it was that stop trying to only find yourself, like, I think there's always more on the other side, a grass green on the other side. So when I got these now, to embrace my family and try to slow down and look at things, like I said, a bird's eye view. Now when I buy the cars or this or that, where they're just little things I just buy. They don't define me. They don't make me feel like, oh my God, it's awesome. Like, it's just a car. I look at it's just a car. And And I think maybe as you get older, less testosterone, you mellow out, the mortality sets in because you're getting closer to death. Maybe all these things add to it.
Yeah.
But I do think that, like, for me, I was definitely one of those people, maybe because my dad always said cash is king, and whatever, and maybe that's just embedded in my brain or whatever it was, or I had to prove something to my parents or whatever it was. But now I think I try to enjoy, personally, you kids more, mom more, life experiences more. I try not to say no. I do have less tolerance. I have less patience because I'm getting older. But I think it's normal when you're in your 20s and 30s and even early 40s to want more and push more and be like, okay, got this. I want more. I think that's a normal thing to motivate you. I think
it's beneficial for sure.
If you don't let it define who you are. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
because it did
turning
for me.
around.
It did for me. I'm being honest with you. Like, I thought, oh my God, look at me. I get out of my Bentley. Now I couldn't give a fuck if I get in and out. Like before, you'd be like, oh my God, I'm taking a Bentley. You know, it's like a whole different egotistical thing. I know it sounds shallow, but that's what it was.
I mean, it is what it is. But I remember there have been a few times in my life where, because like the idea of at my age, you're just going and it's hard to like take a step back and appreciate.
Correct.
But there have been a few times in my life where I have done that, and like I remember them being like, wow, look at the position. Like if I was 16 and told myself what I'd be doing right now,
like, no way.
That's great. Like they would give anything for that. And now I'm here and I don't even appreciate it. So, or not appreciate it, but like I'm just doing it. I'm going through it. It just is normal to me. It's not special.
Well,
so then I force myself to
it.
be like, oh no, you gotta like, right. But that's not always a good thing to just like get used to things.
No, but I think it's
because then you buy like you buy a $2 million home, you get used to it. So you're like, yeah,
right.
I want a $5 million home.
You
get the $5 million home, you get used to it. Then you're like, I need a $7 million home because you just keep getting used to it. But really, the $1,400 a month apartment
does the same thing.
Yeah, you would right. If you went into it with the mentality of this is home, and eventually you would get used to that one too, and then you'd be fine with
100%.
Right. So it's just,
and even it's funny. As I got older and wealthier, I'm like, oh, I love a little tiny home nation. You know, like you digress.
Well, I think also you're romanticizing the idea of like, ooh, going back to just like having all
simple
that we
stuff.
need. Yeah.
Right. I think I will say this,
but I think that is just human nature.
I will say this. So one thing that I have never done is I never lost sight of the dollar. No matter how much money I make or don't make, I always respect the dollar. I always have. I always remember what it buys, the value of it, and not to piss it away and not to live above your means. I think those are basic core principles. Okay? Never overextend. Never dip into savings. Respect, no matter how much you're worth, the dollar buys the same whether you're worth $100 million or $1 million or $10. The dollar buys the same product. That part I've always done, and that has done well for me. So I never get into debt. Number two is, when I look back, and I think it's nice to have humility and being humble. I look back, like when I open up the gate of my house, you know, and hit the clicker, I didn't say, I'm proud of myself.
Right, but that's hard to do.
I make conscious effort.
Right, and that's a really good thing.
No, I mean, I love it. Like sometimes I leave my office, I'm always the last one to leave, and I put the alarm and I lock the door, and they go,
you're like, wow, this is my office.
My building. Look what I built. Like,
I think 95% of people do not do that, and that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. You have to take a step back and be like, wow, look where I am. Sure, right now to me this is just my day-to-day life.
No, but I value it.
Yeah,
Mom and I all the time value. We are so appreciative and fortunate with our family and our children. Again, I don't want to jinx us in any way, but there is not a week that doesn't go by that we don't talk about our family, our children, our friends we have, the life we've created. Every week we are so appreciative and so lucky and fortunate. We talk about it all the time. We really do.
I started watching, great show by the way. I'd recommend it. Masters of the Air. Have you heard of it?
No,
it just started. There's only 5 episodes so far.
Have you seen Shameless, by the way?
Yeah, like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know. We were on season 3. It's fucking retarded. There's 11 seasons.
Yeah, I stopped after 4 or 5.
It's so much.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
And it got very repetitive. It's like the same thing. Yeah. So Masters of the Air. Did you ever watch Band of Brothers, the HBO show about World War II?
No. I've heard of it.
Phenomenal. You got to watch that show. It's more like a long movie. So Masters of the Air is in the same. They made Band of Brothers and then they made the Pacific. So Band of Brothers was like ground infantry in Europe during World War II. The Pacific was ground infantry in the Pacific, so like fighting in Japan and Iwo Jima, that side of the war. And then this new one is called Masters of the Air. It's the same type of story, following soldiers through World War II in their day-to-day life, but this one is their pilots, fighter pilots, bombers stationed in the UK, and they fly missions to Germany and bomb. And so it's really the whole show just follows the 100th Battalion, the 100 whatever they're, you know how they each have like group names, like we're the 34th. Yep. So they're the 100th, and they're an air infantry group, and they go and each episode is like a different bombing mission to Germany. And so it's based on a true story. The guy, one of the characters in the show. Hi.
Come here, gorgeous. Go ahead. Close the door. Go ahead.
All right. Your eyes coming in.
I'm listening.
Do you want to say hi on the podcast?
Come here. Hi. Bronny's telling a story. Go ahead.
Be careful.
I don't want to hear the story. Go ahead.
No, it's just crazy because it follows true stories of these young men. They were all 18 to 24.
They're young kids.
And they were all shipped over to the war. And it's...
Let me guess.
And it's just crazy that like this was everyone's life. It really shows the horrors.
They're babies. They're babies.
And that it shows the horrors of war. Like we started the first episode, there are 50 of them, and now we're down to like there's 11 of these guys, these original guys, because they fly these missions, and they'll just the life is so
precious
and it's quick. Just so nothing, because they'll be flying these missions and they'll be like 5 planes deep, right? And they'll be flying, and then there will be German planes that come around, and then the pilot in one of the planes will be like, what's the situation for plane 4? And I'll look back, and plane 4 is just gone, blown up. And it's like that was
how lucky
that was 6 of their best friends.
Yes.
That just gone. And this is happening every day for them. And this was true. Like
100%.
And you watch it, and then they just showed in the last episode, they showed one scene in London where London was getting bombed every day by the Germans. And we think of London is a great city. It's normal life.
What was a great city?
And they showed one scene where a woman came back to her home, and it was just rubble.
This goes on right now with Israel.
And then the police were pulling out a body of her like daughter, and she's just hysterically crying. I'm like, 5 years before that woman was just living a normal life like we are, and then is thrust into hell. And it's just crazy. You watch this and you're like you watch it and you just realize, wow, life is so enjoyable life that we live now is like. You have to be so appreciative, because we can literally be thrust into hell.
But that's
within a second.
That's why we always say, as long as you have your health. That's why we're very blessed and fortunate.
War is so crazy. I mean, it's happening right now.
Right now with Israel and other countries and Ukraine, or it's everywhere.
You're right.
Innocent people in Russia.
It literally is happening right now.
The Russian government, Putin's terrible, but the people are just regular good people.
Yeah, that are being thrust into hell.
More reason to appreciate your life.
Yeah.
More reason to be more humble and compassionate.
When you watch this and you're like, that was real life for most of the people, and then we live this life, it's like you have to be appreciative for everything you have.
But remember,
any little bit of freedom that I have, that I'm not having to go every single day up into the sky to literally the chance of me dying are more than me surviving.
But that is, we're not in that arena, but everybody has problems in life. Everyone.
Of course.
And you just have to, as long as she's so cute.
You agree with that?
As long as you have your health, and just be appreciative, value, let's try to be the best we can, and humble and compassionate, and just try to, it's not easy. You have your stresses. You have your pressures. You're in law school.
Of course.
You're worried about your future. You're worried about the economics of your future. I remember being your age. You have a lot of great times ahead of you, but you also have a lot of stresses and pressures.
Of course, but what it could be.
I get it, but your stress and pressures and problems
they're still real.
Yours to you.
I know, 100%. I'm not denying.
By the way, what you're doing is putting it in good perspective, because when you look at yours, and then if you think yours are tough compared to what you're talking about, it will help you tolerate and be. It's always like this. No matter how stressed you are, the sun's coming up tomorrow, whether you're alive or dead. So try to make the best of it.
Yeah, and it's like the idea of the grass is greener. It's like, sure, maybe the grass is greener over there, but it could get a lot browner behind me.
There's no grass at that point.
It could get a lot browner.
What about people who went through the Holocaust?
That's what the time. That's what this is. Yeah, and it's like that it's just crazy
we're very blessed.
How hellish life can get. So the fact that life seems hellish in modern day America. Like we always say, "Oh my God, this is terrible," but it's like it is so good compared to what it could be.
I know, and
it's hard to conceptualize.
But we can also make it better.
100%. We should always strive to.
Correct.
And it helps to realize what we've come from, like World War II, to realize, we got to keep making this better, and we can. Zari, do you have anything to say?
What do you want to say, Chipperoos? Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, you got a new bicycle?
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
You want?
What?
Why'd you get a new one? Didn't you already have one? A pink one?
My mommy put it in storage in Boca Bayou.
Why? It was too small?
Yeah, because it is a baby one.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. So we have a new bike. Bronson and I are gonna put it together for you, right? It's a big girl bike.
Right.
And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna give your little bike to some other little kid that needs it, correct?
Yeah.
We're gonna donate it, right?
Right.
Because that's what we do. When we don't have things, when we don't need things anymore, we don't throw them out. We give them to people who need them.
Correct.
Is your new bike pink?
It's purple and it with hearts, and it white, and it pink.
Oh, I'm so excited. Does it have training wheels or are you a big girl now? Do you need training wheels or no?
I don't know.
All right, we'll try to teach you. Have a nice helmet? You have to have a helmet to protect that pretty head.
My mommy did not get it.
Well,
because
We
today,
have to have a helmet.
Because today is not I'm riding my bike lesson.
okay. You know what? You know whose birthday's coming up in a couple of days?
That's mine.
No. Yours is 2 months from now.
Bronson?
Yeah.
Wednesday?
Yeah. Guess how old?
28.
Oh my God, you're so smart.
He already 27.
Correct.
I'm 27 right now.
Correct. He'll be 28. Isn't that crazy, Chippy?
Yeah. Then on April 16th, I'm going to be sick.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. And wait, watch this, Brian. We were talking last night. We went to dinner. Great Chinese restaurant we went to. It's called
I know. It's
Rainbow Palace. On the way we went to Greek Isles and the line was way
Oh, yeah. Mom told me a Chinese restaurant.
fucking out of control. Like real good.
Yeah.
Not cheap, but great. So we talked about for your birthday, where do you want to go for your birthday?
I know for dinner.
Yeah, for dinner. Where do you want to go for your birthday?
I know.
Where?
To Boca Resort.
Boca Resort. Is unbelievable?
Wait, you got to hear this.
We
Okay.
ruined her. Go ahead.
Santa wanted to take her out for Valentine's Day to go to dinner.
Yeah.
And she asked her, she said, where do you want to go to dinner? And do you remember what you said to mommy? When mommy asked you what you wanted to do for Valentine's Day? She said, are you a member anywhere? Santa said,
Oh my
Santa said,
God.
where do you want to go to dinner?
Oh my God.
Santa said, where do you want to go to dinner? And she goes, are you a member anywhere? And Santa goes, what do you mean? She said, like the Boca Resort? Are you a member at a club where we can go to dinner? That's crazy.
Okay, Nelly ruined you. Nelly ruined you. That's Nelly's fault, right?
But where'd you go? You went to the Cheesecake Factory, right? That's the best. I love Cheesecake Factory.
What's our favorite meal at Cheesecake?
Oh.
Chicken Romano?
Crusted Romano chicken. Oh,
On Valentine's Day, my mommy got me a rose and a blooming.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
you made me a card, right? Beautiful card. It's on my refrigerator.
You like it?
I know. I love it. Give me another Kishka. All right. Are we wrapping up or you want to do fatherly advice?
I've got one up if you want to do it.
It's a long one.
Yeah, I have a quicker one, but
Sorry.
there's a short one, but it's like a bigger topic.
All right. Do whatever's quickest.
I mean, there's a few.
Are you a member anywhere? Who are you, crazy kid?
Okay, here. This is a semi-quick one. This is just S. She doesn't want her full name to be said.
How you know it's a woman?
Because I see that I have the full name here.
Gotcha,
I'm just not
okay.
saying it. Hey, Jon and Bron. My question's mainly for Jon, but would love Bronson's opinion as well. I'm a 28-year-old single and no kids medical esthetician from Houston, Texas, and looking to start my own business. I'm so unhappy at my current place of employment, but grateful to be making over 6 figures. I've confided in only a couple of people about my potential business, but both have expressed concern about starting a business with the current state of the economy. I understand the concern because I've seen a small decline in my regular clientele. Obviously, aesthetics is a luxury, and it's one of the first to go when clients are budgeting. My question is this: would you advise to start a business now, or should I wait until after elections next year / when the economy gets better and stick it out with my current employer? Thanks. You guys are the best. Would love to meet you sometime.
Okay. First of all, hi. Thanks for writing in. Appreciate it. If you're making over 6 figures, the government's taking taxes out of that. If you start your own business, you can do a lot of writing off on certain things and take things to loss at the beginning. So even if you make less, you might be making more in the long run, number one. Number two
it'll probably be a hit at the beginning.
Number two, if you are a hard worker and you believe in yourself and you're 28 and you don't have children yet, my advice is this is when you take the risk and you do it now. Because your expense will never get less than they are now. So I would take the risk. And if you believe in yourself, why not invest in yourself?
But the question is, should she do it right now or should she wait a year to see?
No, do it now. I wouldn't wait. The election component is not going to change your life in opening a business. It's a question whether or not you want to open up business now or you don't want to open up business.
True, that's a good point. Because let's say you're thinking like, if Trump wins, the economy is going to get great. So then your business will just start to take off.
It doesn't matter. No,
but if not, then it just is what it is.
It's not going to affect in that regard.
Yeah.
It's like you're saying, do open up a snow shoveling business and I'm moving to LA. That's a different story, right? But here's the thing. What I'm a little bit concerned about is what if you like being an esthetician, which is what it sounds like you want to open your business in, what is it you hate about your job?
I don't know, but it might just be, I don't know.
If it's her employer, a different story. Okay, but it's going to be the same level of services.
She said, I'm unhappy at my current place of employment for whatever reason.
Okay.
Maybe she doesn't like to work under someone else.
Correct.
Maybe she thinks I can do this myself. I don't need,
and you can make
they're taking
less,
a lot of money.
And you can make less and make more. In the long run, you'd be fine. I think you get yourself the right accountant. You go out on your own. You bust your ass. You can, by the way, if you're an esthetician making over 6 figures, in a year from now, if it doesn't work, or 2 years from now, you can always go back and get the job.
That seems like
when I quit my job in New York as a lawyer, I wasn't even licensed yet in the state of Florida. When we moved and we had no income, I always said, "What the f? I can always go back to New York, and get a job." But I tell my kids, I'd rather you try. I know. I'd rather you try and fail than look back and never try and say I should have done it.
Yeah,
I think you should bust a move, do it. You can always go back to your position.
I agree. That's an easy one.
All right. Good luck, S. And please keep us posted. Let us know how it goes. If you have any questions about, you're concerned about a lease, what to do, this, that, whatever, you can always DM Bronson. He'll be more than happy to give my information. You can always call me and pick my brain. I'll be more than happy to help you. I've helped many clients with starting businesses. I've been through it myself. You could definitely pick my brain and reach out to me if you want, if I can help you and give you some more advice. Okay. All right. On that note, Bronny, love you. Chippy, I love you.
Love you, Zerai.
Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.